My name is Ash. This is Hubris. We're Backtrace Security.
Yo.
Yo. The abstract that's in the program is about 6 months out of date. We got a little bit of a snafu, so it's not going to completely track on what we wrote there. We're just going to, there's a lot of things that are still ongoing, so we're just going to talk a little bit about the history of this whole mess that's happening.
Yeah, I'm on the second slide.
What's that?
I'm on the second slide.
Already? Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about how Anonymous came into being, or supposedly came into being. And first you got, originally it's a joke, you go on 4chan or whatever chan and somebody does something a little naughty or a lot naughty, and who did that? Anonymous did that. It's anonymous posting. Everybody is anonymous. Therefore, everything that happens was done by Anonymous. Anonymous becomes sort of a living persona. So they lampshade it, it's we're all anonymous. And at some point, becomes a sort of a trolling movement. Everybody goes out together and runs all over the place and messes with everybody and everything. And for the most part, it's fun. It's lulls. Every once in a while, you'd have a little bit of an activist attitude. But for the most part, it was a joke. It was a fun thing. It was, somebody's acting up on YouTube. Everybody go leave comments, harass them a little bit, whatever. One day, somebody comes on and says, look at this really funny YouTube of Tom Cruise acting like an idiot for Scientology. It's really funny. Everybody goes to see the video. There's no video. It's gone. Right? Why? Church of Scientology pulled it down. So they put it back up. Scientology yanked it back down. So a little tug of war, get it up, get it down, get it up, get it down. So down it went again. So it just causes a little, it just sort of snowballs, and you're not going to get away with this. We're gonna put it back up as many times as you take it down, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's an international sensation. And Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, I am a Scientologist. And the next thing you know, the Church of Scientology is getting the usual 4chan treatment, black faxes, 4,000 pizzas.
Over 9,000. Over 9,000.
Shipments of boxes from UPS, bomb threats, the whole 9 yards. So at this point, some of the people who've been kind of fighting Scientology for many, many years stepped forward and said, hey, we're really glad you guys showed up to join the party, but you're kind of ruining it with all this illegal DDoS stuff and the faxing. And since there's, approximately 10,000 of you, why don't you come out and meet a Church of Scientology in person and troll them there? And Anonymous said, yeah, that sounds like fun. And so 10,000 people all over the world showed up in front of the Church of Scientology and had a party. And Scientology wasn't super thrilled about that, but what could they do, And this was a pretty successful form of protest for a really long time. There was a lot of interest from more traditional protesters and protest groups because it was very effective. It was ongoing. It went on successfully for probably close to 3 years before it sort of fizzled out. But anyway, they're going to call this the adhocracy because this is a group of people that came together with common cause and zero organization. They just said, fuck it, we're all pissed about the same thing. We're all going to go out there and do our thing. Nobody knew anybody. Keeping to the tenets of 4chan and the traditional idea behind Anonymous, everybody uses anonymous handles. We're not going to talk about real names. We're going to come out there, use handles. And what turned out to be a very effective form of protest. And, this, of course, comes with a downside. An anonymous mob is an anonymous mob and sometimes will act like a mob. So people who are targets are not always deserving targets, of course, and people that, anger the hive, so to speak, sometimes get an inappropriate amount of retaliation. So there's definitely a dark side to all of this. There's people who maybe disagreed with the group, and as a result, their children's report cards are on the internet. Their private whatever. So interest in Scientology after a while started to wane a little bit. And about the time this is ongoing, there's issues with WikiLeaks and with Iran, and people started saying, well, let's branch out a little bit. Let's join this Iranian Revolution idea, and they recruited, and the whole thing swelled, and you have a lot more causes added. It starts getting a little bit more political. People start getting involved for personal political reasons. They want to do some good in the world, Unfortunately, as the media is picking up on all of these things, they're calling Anonymous hacktivists. At this point, there's no hackers in Anonymous. It's just internet people, Well, there's hackers, but they're not, explicitly hacktivists, or they're part of the crowd, But they're going out and the media is talking about the hackers because it's a better soundbite to say all these hackers are coming out and protesting.
Hackers on steroids.
Yeah. Mad hackers makes a better soundbite than people who hang out on the internet, And unfortunately, a little bit of the problem is that people started enjoying that idea. Oh, we're hacktivists. We're dangerous hackers. Everyone's afraid of us. And that actually starts attracting, not always the good kind of hacktivist either. They're going off recruiting in places where people are not necessarily pure of heart.
2x4RU.
So we get some people who, by night are using their botnet for naughty things, and by day are coming forward, and they get together and they come up with this concept of anonymous operations. They're going to go back to the old-fashioned anonymous campaign, which is DDoS everything that moves, which is a debatable form of protest. Obviously, everyone has an opinion.
They say that shit is a sit-in.
It's a sit-in if a sit-in is break the windows and chain the doors shut so nobody can come in and so forth, I tend to think that it doesn't qualify because in a sit-in, you can still get in and out the door. You can do your business. You look at the protesters. You say, oh, yeah, those guys have a problem with something. I wonder what they're worried about. With a DDoS, people go to the site, and they're like, oh, it's not there. I wonder why. And, if you're watching the news, you know why, but otherwise, no. So you get this huge outspread of things that are going on, all kinds of targets now. Well, let's take on anybody who's against free speech. Let's go after the RIAA, the Australian government.
Fuck the RIAA and NPA.
Yeah, well, then they DDoSed the Pirate Bay when they got mad with them, too. And this is another problem when you have a crowdsourced protest. People sort of do what they do. And so one minute they're going, yeah, we like these guys, we're going to support them. And the next minute they're like, no, fuck that, DDoS those guys. And so you have the LOIC, which has been kind of overblown, and it's been portrayed to the media that all of these people have come together and downloaded this program, and they're all individually, DOSing these sites all together as a form of protest. But in reality, they recruited some rather threateningly large botnets into play. And the first time that they really came out in force was the Operation Payback when the funding was cut for WikiLeaks. And WikiLeaks is, of course, a pet cause at this point. And, the LOIC, it's not enough to take down a PayPal or a MasterCard site. So they found some friends with botnets and recruited them. So now we have half a dozen botnets, including some that are, hundreds of thousands. And they can do an awful lot of damage with that. And of course, at this point, we're entering into strictly illegal territory. You can't argue that a botnet is a legitimate form of protest, in my opinion, anyway. Anyway, so this group is becoming larger, and they're using and utilizing more and more, propagandistic techniques, and they're recruiting. And the funny thing is that when this stuff started around 2008, the propaganda, it was a joke. Straight up, we're lampshading it. We're having fun with it. People are making goofy posters. And now, coming around to 2010, it's being promoted as a serious thing. All of the things that were said in jest in 2008 are now, you've got 16-year-olds going, well, we're this, we're that, we're the other thing. And all this stuff was a joke. And now it's not a joke. Now it's serious. Now the propaganda is real. And you've got this large group with lots of weapons and generally not anywhere to point it all of the time. And they've got collective ADD. They're like, oh, that. The other thing, that's good. Oh, those guys, we don't like those guys. Go after those guys. So 1 minute it's Bradley Manning, and the next minute and they did a lot of good things, I think. You have the Tunisian protest support and the Iranian protest support, and they were actually pretty focused on that for a long time. And after the Operation PayPal, it seems to all have sort of fallen apart. They're literally idling with nothing really productive to do. And then enter H.B. Gary, Aaron Barr, and here's a guy who says, well, I have a security product that I'm thinking of creating, and how about these guys? These guys think that they're really anonymous, but I bet they're not as anonymous as they think they are, and I bet we could correlate their relationships and find out who they are.
Dude, Aaron Barr, I met this fucker. This man is built. I would not want to fight this man. Because he's also in the Navy, because if you lose, he will rape you.
And I think the idea maybe was that it was going to be an educational exercise for everyone involved. And Anonymous actually could have learned a little bit from this, because they were not truly anonymous. In fact, none of them were really anonymous. Most of them were hanging all out in the open and sort of trusting in the use of loose handles and the power of numbers to sort of protect them from consequences. And unfortunately, that's not how it goes.
It was never the same.
So I think we know what happened next. Anonymous says, oh, well, you can't screw with us and get away with it. This guy is going to do evil, nefarious things with our information, so let's go get him. And everyone knows what happened there, so I won't spend a lot of time on that. And I think they got very drunk and giddy with power, and I think a lot of what they, if you are legitimately upset with somebody, I don't think taking their email, the email of everyone they know, the email of their friends' private love letters and so forth, and smearing it all over the internet for all eternity is inappropriate and well, this is up to a point. So
Oh shit! Oh, motherfucker put a rupee in it. Help!
Why is he such a little girl?
He is a little girl.
Because I'm Asian. That's a hate crime.
So, Hubris and I were watching the aftermath of this disaster.
Let me do this part.
Okay. Everyone, now, this is the cyber warfare part. I really can't get into how I fucked over Anonymous. I trolled the fuck out of him and I got to where I am now. Look at this shit. Fuck you guys. Fuck you. Hey, and guess what? Guess what? I'm up here right now because I trolled the fuck out of Anonymous. I took them down, and I got to where I am right now. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
Exactly.
consequences are
Thank
never
you.
the same for Anonymous now. Never the same. Never the same. What's up? Yes. What? I don't give a fuck.
Okay, in all seriousness, returning to the
Greg
topic.
Hoagland? Boy, Greg Hoagland? Felix Bernardo? Felix Bernardo? Oh, let's see let me name names. Who else do you guys want to know who is? You want to know who the Jester works for?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Not going into that yet. Not yet. That's another time.
Hey, he's been trying to dox me for weeks. Please. By the way, anybody that has hate for this kid's my boy right here on Fox. You can find me on the non-ops. Nobody's got my dox. But who's your boy Chester work for? Because he's been tweeting all around.
No, he's not here. No, he's not here along with Tabu. I don't think they're here.
Zachary, yes, we know Zach. Sit.
No. Jester is not my boy. They're all.
Okay, but if you have information that would be helpful.
Do you?
Okay. This. Yeah.
Come talk to me later.
Okay, yeah. Come give us a chat afterward. We'll sit down.
What's
We'll
up?
have a beer. Okay.
What's up?
We've only got an hour here, so
Get the
we'll
cock
have
out of your
this
mouth. I can't hear
conversation
you.
afterward.
Get the cock out of your mouth. I can't hear you.
We're working on that.
Consequences were never the same for you and your mother. Come on, do it. Little bitch. You're a little bitch. Come up here and do it. Little faggot.
Hey.
Trolls,
no
trolling
effort,
trolls,
no
trolling
effort.
trolls, trolling trolls. What's up? Oh, no.
And I think we lost the room. It's a pretty good demonstration of what goes on here. Is we have
So much time we don't know what to do with. This is an example of what
It's fine. It's actually a pretty good demonstration of why we have a problem with this. We're anonymous, so we're going to be jackasses because nobody knows who we are. Unfortunately, not very many of them are truly anonymous.
Nope.
At about the time we're watching this stuff unfold and watching people in the IRC try to extort people at HB Gary and say, well, we won't publish your private love letters if, say you give lots and lots of money to Bradley Manning, donate to funds. Well, it's extortion. And we had some conversation about this, and we said, well, maybe going around on Facebook and looking at people talking to people on Facebook is not the best way to find them, but they're findable. And maybe we can pick up where he left off because we're not afraid of consequences because we've already tangled with these idiots and
what are they
come
going to do?
through the
They're
other
going to come
end.
to your
There's
DEFCON talk to make
really,
fun of you? This is
you
the
know.
best Anonymous can fucking do? They're going to DDoS me? Fuck that shit. Come on, bring it on.
Hey, send me some pizza. I like
DDoS me.
pizza. I like
And what?
pizza. I like boxes.
Post pictures of me naked.
I
I
like
got a big ass
faxes.
cock. And what? Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
All right. Settle down. And we thought also it would be a good demonstration of why, getting on the internet and yelling about your right to privacy and all the people that are trying to take your privacy away is a little hypocritical when you leave everything hanging out all over the internet. And, a good demonstration of just how easy it is. We don't have special equipment. We don't use
We did this with
paid
no
accounts.
money.
We don't have
no
it
money.
in.
We didn't even get paid for this shit.
No Intellius accounts, none of the tools that they traditionally use. Google, few other, database tools that are open to the public, and there's quite a few things that, you tend to notice in this group, and that is they reuse handles everywhere. Somebody is using a handle on Anonops to talk about DDoS. They're using the identical handle on Yelp to talk about the local Chinese restaurant that they check in at every week. They're using it on Facebook, where they're also friends with their sisters, their brothers, their mother, their cousins, and all the people in their local activist group.
Oh, you should talk about the tiny chat we got them to go into. Oh, hey, everyone, look. You want to see who Mutiny is? You want to see who
You should not
Wolfie
go
is?
on to Tiny Chat when you know that people know your name. There's Wolfie. Albert Rankin, formerly of the U.S. military and now
U.S.
DDoSing
Army. He was
Quantico.
U.S. Army.
Ah. So you want to be anonymous?
Your mother.
Don't get on an open tiny chat
mad,
using
bro?
your
You
anonymous
mad?
handle.
You mad? You mad?
Especially when 4 different law enforcement agencies are looking for you. Yeah, I know.
What, fatty?
It's fine.
Fatty 2x4 can't fit through the bedroom door?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You mean like
Well,
Lord Nikon?
the issue of duplicate handles is that it's largely mythological. There's not been a lot of duplication of handles. There's been some. People talk about their location. People talk about what they had for dinner. They tell you what time it is, where they are. We're not going in the IRC and looking for somebody to tell us what color their socks are. What's that?
Look how much I fucking trolled this shit. Just by being up here.
I'm sorry.
love
I'm
this.
not really catching what. I'm sorry. I apologize. I couldn't catch that. All right, I will. So Anons are like everyone else. They're creatures of habit. People do the things, they say they do. I'm anonymous. 92, 91. I'm a non-beefeater, whatever. People get attached to their identities. They get attached to their handles. They use the handles everywhere they go. Like I said, they're using handles in other social networking platforms where it makes it very easy to pinpoint who and where they are. Facebook accounts, YouTube accounts, Reddit accounts, Yelp accounts even. Review the local Chinese restaurant using your anonymous hatwear handle, and I'm in Chicago. I like hot dogs. That's fine.
No.
What I'm saying is
I'm censoring you like Julian Assange.
a bunch of kids on Anonymous, right? Trust me, I know. I've been trying to teach these kids how to hide themselves a little bit better.
Yes, laying pipe. We were there. Nice talk.
Yeah.
Well, see, one of the things is that we're not interested in tracking down every single anonymous poster and finding them all. We're not even really interested in doxing Anonymous in general. That was never the point. It's not the point.
The point that you're making is you get the cock out of your mouth. You mad?
They mad.
Actually, we can.
I think you can expect something pretty spectacular in the next couple of weeks.
I mean, we
can't
gave
say
you
more
guys.
than that.
Okay, hey, every white hat here, we gave you guys 4 more years of a guaranteed job because of LulzSec and non-ops, they're both considered advanced persistent threats. So you're fucking welcome.
No. Okay, I think at this point we're going to table the questions until after because we're trying to maintain a narrative here. I think you need to listen because some of you sitting over there, what happens here and what I do next has a little bit of an influence on what happens to some of you.
Consequences will never be the same.
I think it's warranted. I think when. Yeah. No, that was not us. I don't know what you're talking about, actually. So, moving on. We had lots of conversations with lots of people on the IRC. We won't get into specifics who we talked to. Lots and lots of people are perfectly willing to open up and give information to a complete stranger. This is what we're doing, that it's illegal. This is why we're doing it. This is why I'm doing it. This is where I used to hang out. These guys are my friends, so on and so forth. We were always up front why we were doing this, what we were doing it for, what the motivations were. We had
LOL derailed.
Death threats, physical threats, threats of whatever you can imagine. They tried the same bag of tricks. And the reason that we're standing here today is because of the mob behavior, because of if they don't like what they're hearing, they throw a fit and they come after you. You know, you're going to get heckled, you're going to get harassed, you're going to get pictures of your children put on the internet. No, Greg over here. Greg knows because Greg was
Felix
part of a little
Bernardino?
mob that published pictures of my children on the internet. That went to that threatened to kidnap children from parents. Yes, you did. You were there. You knew you were there. Garrett came to me personally and apologized and said I knew he was full of crap when he asked me to have you swatted. So.
Would you please just do something right for the first time in your fucking life? Yeah.
No.
Because
you know why? It makes you
Case in
angry.
point here.
Because it makes you angry.
They're very angry. The thing is that they like the information to be free, but not when it's their information. They want the privacy to harass other people, but they don't want the spotlight to swing the other way. It gets them agitated.
Pedo Bear!
Hey, no violence. I'm a little old for you. He's a little old for you. There's some folks back there a little immature. You might try that. So, we made no... We were very upfront that we've been working with law enforcement. Always. Very, very, very upfront. Well, come give me some stitches. I welcome it. Come on up here.
Okay, I have to address this. The reason why I got involved is they fucked with the U.S. Marine Corps. I am a 100% disabled combat veteran, and if you fuck with the fucking Marines, you fuck with me. America, fuck yeah! Hey, you know fucking what? Why don't you fucking say that to a Marine? Go and say that to a Marine and see what happens.
Which brings us to the next part, which was the ultimately retarded Operation Manning, which is where some half-wit, Barrett Brown, decided it would be a good idea to take retaliation against some allegations of mistreatment of Bradley Manning by digging up the personal information of all of the people that worked at Quantico, their families, their children, the whole 9 yards, post it on the internet and harass the families of these Marines who are doing their jobs and do not have any say whatsoever in what happens to Bradley Manning or anybody else. And just personally, I found that repugnant. This, I can't hear you.
Hold on, guys. I'd just like to say, we all knew, okay, so I love you guys, but it's still going to continue. Y'all went up there, y'all knew. Like, come on.
Come on, Zach. Behave. Sit down.
You see the pictures? You're looking at my face. Come on now. Who is does not dox men?
So what? Maybe not now, but you stood up in front of all these cameras here? LOL. You lost.
You're standing in a casino full of cameras that are actually actively monitored by law
We
enforcement.
came
It's
out
not
here to draw
super
people
smart.
out, and we did. We win.
I'll go up there with the group shot, with the video man out there, with the photo shoot, right? I'm down. You down? I got the goal and they fell in the back. We'll see if we'll do it up.
We can't even hear you back there. You might want to wait till it's over. Come talk to us. So this is followed by another incredibly stupid idea, which is let's DDoS Quantico and get the military mad at us. And they did, despite the fact that CID is at the point out there actively looking for some people who were doxing Marines using a phone book they acquired through their own active service.
Okay, that Wolfie guy, he was in the U.S. Army. Yeah, he is.
Well,
He's also
Wolfie's
a
in
furry.
a lot of trouble. You might
likes
want to
furry
spend some
and
time with him
CP,
before he
so-
goes.
Yeah, you were, weren't you? Yeah. Yeah, consequences will never be the same. Yup. Hey, read about your son, Topiary. Bye-bye. You're welcome, America. No. Your friend Lorelai gave it to us, because you know why? She hates you. Oh, say it on camera out loud, please. Make sure Lorelai sees it.
Hey, I'll say it. I talked to Lorelai. Lorelai chills with me, and guess what? I know she's around that shit. I said I had
Yep.
a huge fucking ordeal with Mikey B, Sabu, bunch of heads over.
Yeah, we know.
So, yeah, no, you want me to say it on camera? I'll say it on camera. Right to you. But anyways, Lorelai chills in school. Lorelai's an opera. Lorelai's under a burner handle right now. Anybody that's got a problem, they come see me. IFC.ananas.li.
Serious! SRS serious.
So, TLDR, we dropped some docs. A lot of them. In public, you didn't get me. That's not me. In private, holy fuck, I'm in trouble. A lot of people went away and haven't been back, despite certain people's claims otherwise.
I'm just an observer.
So they did what they could do. They tried figuring out who we were. They DDoSed our WordPress. They took down half of DreamHost after we moved. They botted everything they thought was ours or might be ours or belonged to somebody who might know us or somebody we might have bought something from at the 7-Eleven. No effect. I mean, what's that going to do, really? And the problem is that the bag of tricks is the same. Harass. Lots of harassment. Well, the thing is that your average person, when faced with that kind of behavior, doesn't know what to do. When 500 people are calling you at home, calling you names, stuff is showing up in your mailbox, people are calling your work and saying, did you know so-and-so's a pedophile? They fold. That's not something that most people are used to, dealing with, and it's very intimidating to most people, and it's bully behavior. It's obnoxious. It's not.
Basically,
it's not,
they just go around and
we can argue all day whether or not an LOIC is a sit-in or destruction of property, but calling people at home and threatening to kill their children is not activism. you know, and this is one of the reasons that we came out here and put ourselves on the line to do this, you know. So there was a bit of a huffle-fuffle after this, and then things got quiet for a while. Topiary closed his account and wandered away. Some people went missing. Things got pretty quiet on the IRC. An operation, I think, had 12 LOICers available for, you know, DDoS. In other words, it's a disaster. They had Brian in his botnet when he was available and felt like helping out. But basically, nothing's going on. In the intervening time, you know, some of the folks that hang around on there who have other habitual misbehavior were fooling around in some databases of a company beginning with S and ending with Y that we won't talk about. Found some things they thought were useful and tried to sell them and found out that they were generally worthless. And so they're sitting on something they felt was a pretty major accomplishment and they had nothing to do with it. Can't brag, can't make money. You gotta do something. We gotta tell the world somehow. So they come up with this idea of lulzsec. So Kayla's bored. Sabu has some political ambitions. Topiary has a list of media contacts. They say, you know, to hell with it. Let's go. You know, now the game is anarchy. They dump everything they got saved up. They go combing through the databases they've been collecting and selling for years and start looking for .gov addresses they can fiddle with. The PBS thing, it had nothing to do with WikiLeaks. Somebody came on the IRC and said, hey, I found an SQLI on PBS. You guys want it?
PBS.
Yeah, we want it. They didn't even break in themselves. Somebody else gave them the keys. So they got in there, they fucked around. They spent about 6 weeks screwing with everybody. Then they got a little bit of an attack of conscience. All of a sudden, everybody hated them. Everybody's going, what are these assholes doing? They're breaking into everything. They're dumping people's private information.
Why in the hell would you attack PBS? PBS has Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers. And LeVar Burton, Reading Rainbow. LeVar Burton taught me how to read. And not well, but still he tried. That's all that matters. Geordie LaForge, baby. Geordie LaForge. Mr. Rogers did what Anonymous could not do. He stopped the MPAA? The MPAA. No, he allowed them to record his show. No, go suck a cock. Guten Tag. Next, go on.
Okay. I'm trying here. So they play at this game for a little while. They're just combing through what a lot of stuff they've already got and what people are giving them, and they're dumping it, and they're having a good old time. They're getting lots of attention, and then suddenly they realize that everybody hates them now. They're no longer, you know, popular in the world because they're dumping people's private information, credentials. They're going on Twitter. They're going, here, guys, here's 65,000 passwords and information that we got on innocent users of a site that had a security vulnerability these users were not aware of. Go see what you can do with it. Go see if they got a PayPal account you can get into. Get into their eBay. Go on their Facebook and dump their boyfriend for them. And they had everything to do with it.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, there was. Anonymous had
Nice
nothing to
misinfo.
do with it, but the two core members of lulzsec did, and lulzsec was born because they wanted somewhere to dump and brag about what basically amounted to an economically unfeasible job. They spent a lot of time getting into Sony, found nothing, and they wanted bragging rights anyway. That's what the genesis of lulzsec was. What's that? They are the same. The people that broke into HBGary are the same people that are members of lulzsec. It's the same people. So you can say they're anonymous, they're not anonymous, they're sitting on Anonops right now. Sabu's right there with ops on Anonops telling everyone, you want to come see me, come talk to me here. It's the same people. It's the same people. It's the same crowd. It's the same supporters. And they've been cheered on. If Anonymous and lulzsec are not the same people, why the hell are they still sitting there? And why haven't they been escorted off the premises? They've all got ops on Anonops. They're all the they're all sitting in the IRC. They all have ops. They've not been disinvited. Nobody said we disavow these folks. They've been welcomed with open arms back into the fold now that they have blown their load. Everybody is not welcome with open arms. If you come in there with an opinion that's contrary to one of the 10 or 15 people who have real power in that group, you will find yourself on the outskirts, or in my experience, people will offer to dox you for free because they don't like you. In fact, more than a dozen Anons have come to me and said, this guy I don't like, here's his dox. When they don't like you, they throw you under the bus. I was at the talk this morning. Well, we were there. We were not at the Q&A. We were at the talk.
No one cares what you have to say.
No, go ahead. I do. It's fine.
Hey, you want to see what law enforcement would like? Boom. Oh, wait, wrong one. This one.
Shut up. Let him talk. Go ahead.
The one thing that law enforcement has to do for by going and posting things on your own, saying, hey, look, if you're going to be retarded and have anything, at least take into consideration those Marines in the field and use these intelligence.
There were. Well, first of all, I want to make it really clear: we're not law enforcement. We're not. Well, yes, way past law enforcement. This is true. However, there were lots of people that attempted to voice reason on that Quantico thing. Go ahead. This is exactly what I'm trying to illustrate here about the mob behavior.
This is what we wanted. This is what we wanted to show the rest of the people. Anonymous is a bunch of fucking kids.
And the funny thing here is that everybody sitting over here yelling, screaming, having tantrums is a grown adult. Because this is not Q&A. If you want to talk afterward, tell them to sit down and shut up and behave like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 year olds at least. Go up a little bit.
FBI. Huh? I'm hubris. What are you gonna do? You ain't gonna do shit.
I'm asking you a question. What does Anonymous mean for the future?
Anonymous. What?
I think that if Anonymous wants to be taken as a legitimate activist group, they need to excise the bullies, the jerks, the people who are dumping the personal information of thousands. At this point, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of innocent users, database users. Tell me exactly what people who are informing against Mexican cartels have done wrong. I can't even hear you. So, moving on. We start to get political again. And, Lulzsec realizes that nobody's lulzing over their grandma's email and password being spread all over the internet. They're not thrilled with the private information of police officers and people who are risking their lives informing against Mexican cartels whose names have been splattered all over the internet because they're snitching. Well, go back to the bomb threat. I want them to see this. That's not fake. Everyone can
It
be
got
anonymous,
deleted.
right? This was retweeted by 75 other people claimed to be members of Anonymous. So either there's 75 disinformation agents out there trying to make you look bad, or 75 people thought that putting a bomb in the Orlando airport was a good fucking idea to support food, not bombs. And yes, that's what this was supposed to be in support of. And this guy is still out there, still tweeting insanity, and these folks are still retweeting everything that comes out of him. He's not been taken to task, removed, or otherwise asked to tone it down. Well, you know, I'd love to get to the point, but the children haven't sat down yet. You know, they need their naps. Good, good. I'm glad to hear it.
Because he's good.
So, you know, the Arizona
Can I
police
have one?
weren't terribly thrilled to find all their email and their names and addresses posted on a list that said "off the pigs" across the top. Now they decide to go back to politics, but they're not sure what they're going to do, because basically they're grabbing what they can grab, they're dumping what they can dump, and then they're coming up with an excuse afterward. And this isn't activism. They're not getting together and saying, what's the issue du jour? What are we upset about? What we can do about it? They're saying, we raped this database. What political message can we put forward? Literally, they're having these conversations. And that's fine. So they basically are using every vulnerability that comes their way. People are coming to the IRC and going, here, I found this. Here's access to the health records of health workers in Brazil. No possible way they've got a problem with Brazilian health workers, but yet it gets dumped anyway. And the excuse is, well, the Brazilian government are assholes. Everybody's an asshole. Let's have a revolution. What are we going to do? What kind of revolution? I don't know. Dump some more names. At this point, we're up to about 500,000 people's credentials being spread over the internet, and no clear. We can't do that. As much as I would love to start naming names today, you can get the fuck out
And
anytime you want.
GTFO, dude. GTFO.
There's not going to be a
Put a
list of
shoe on
names
your
today.
head.
Anonymous is right back there talking out their asses.
You guys are just
Yeah,
like
yes,
Scientology.
Everyone knows Nietzsche said, if you stare too long into the abyss looks into you. They've become the monsters that they were claiming to fight against. The same tactics that they decried in the Church of Scientology, they apply to their own enemies, people who make them angry, people who cross them in the parking lot. What list? There's a list. The FBI has the list. I'm pretty sure there's a chill out room there somewhere. If you're really feeling bad, I'm sure you could find some medical attention. I feel very badly that you're distressed. I think this is illustrated pretty well. What we came to illustrate is that what we've got now is a sort of a formless mob that does what it feels like doing and justifies it after the fact. You get these guys in front of the media and they're Boy Scouts. We love Bradley Manning. We're all for free speech. We don't like that Bradley Manning doesn't have a blanket. We want to free the Tunisians. In reality, We're frustrated. There's people we don't like. We feel powerless, so let's hurt some people to make ourselves feel better.
If you take your shirt
Actually,
off.
I liked you a little better on the IRC, to be honest with you.
I love you too.
Since we wrote this talk originally about 3 months ago, a lot of other things have come to light. We can't really talk about a lot of what's going on, but it looks like a lot of the movement behind the scenes began a long time ago. That a lot of the things that they are couching as free speech activism is not, in fact, free speech activism. There are active members of the group who are looking to pull down critical infrastructure systems. They're wanting to get into banks and drop passwords, credit card numbers, personal information. And they don't want you to hear it, so we'll pause.
We're no strangers to love, you know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just want to tell you what I'm
very
feeling.
flattered that you guys paid for plane fare to come out here and act like idiots in the back and sing.
No. They scammed and ripped and dumped databases and sold Bitcoin to get here.
You know, that is the question. Did you pay for the tickets with your own credit cards or
2x4
someone
RU,
else's?
baby. 2x4 RU.
No Bitcoin?
What about LR, Liberty Reserve, MoneyGram, Western Union? Bitcoin.
The fella here in the
I
yellow
know an
shirt, what he
exchanger.
does for fun every, what day of the week is it? I'm going to give you a free plug. When's your class? When's your class? I'm giving you a plug.
My next class is when I get back from DEFCON. I got some business on Monday and Tuesday. So I'll tell you what, since you're going to plug it, I'm going to make sure the entire staff is there. I will do 12 hours worth of open forum. You want to learn anything, guess what? You tell me, I will find somebody. If I don't know it myself, I will go out and I will find somebody.
Could you give us a little description? Give us a little description of the people that come and take these classes and what your lessons are. Come on up.
Malt liquor is a shizning.
For the record,
Real men drink scotch.
big hackers drink what's available. Anyways, the mic. So anyways,
So,
you want some? You want some? Go ahead. Yeah.
Tell them what your classes are, what your attendees, their
Okay.
average age.
Average age. Okay, so I've been harassing y'all for about the past 45 minutes, so I'm going to give you all a little 101. My name's Fox. I run a school for people trying to learn how to do something. And pretty much I take douchebags that use LOIC, and I actually teach them at least how to comp a box and at least how to use a DEDI to rail something rather than using just some, shitty fucking home 5 meg connection with, hive mind. Anyways, so since we're getting a plug on here, we are on irc.anonops.li in Pound School. We also have an academy that actually teaches kids a little bit more from the ground up, but Wednesday, noon, CST, 12 hours. 12 hours worth of school. Yeah? It is not a trap. The only trap, hey, just don't click on links for me. It could be my dick, okay?
Give the secret.
What is it?
Give the feds a wave too.
And by the way, FBI, CIA, DHS, by the way,
I don't think you're rated CIA.
no, but by the
You
way,
gotta work a little harder.
oh, sorry. But anyways, DHS, You all were really, really mean to Zach, and we put him up in a new place thanks to donations from the school. And I've seen you all taking pictures of me and my boys today, so hello. If anybody else wants one, like right here, just I'll get both of them up. You want to come? Come on, it's pictures. Picture time. Picture time. Come on. Come on. Come on. We're having a good time right here. This is what it's all about. This is what DEFCON's about. Trolling motherfuckers and then taking a picture. We're taking pictures right now.